2-1 win over Oral Roberts. Close on the scoreboard, but 18-6 in shots, 9-2 in corners. Was it that dominant in your eyes, and what did you think of the way your team played?
It wasn't dominant. It was enough to get the result. Coming off the game at Tulsa on Saturday, I was, worried of a Tulsa hangover. That we'd be a bit sluggish and, slightly overlook Oral Roberts, who has a good group this year. So I don't think we played really well, but we won the game, and that's the most important thing. I told these guys when they walk off the field, smile. They're disappointed that it wasn't a beautiful game of soccer tonight, but they did enough to get the result. And at the end of the year, what matters are wins, losses, and ties, not 2-1 versus 5-0. So we're happy with that.
The next question was about coming back from Tulsa. You opened your conference season with a shutout on the road against a longtime rival. What did you and your staff do to help your team get through the hangover?
There's not a whole lot you can do besides, present them the information you need, make sure they've done enough to regenerate their bodies from a quick turnaround, and make sure they're aware of the difficulties that Oral Roberts can bring. So I thought we handled them. It was only 6 shots, but it's a game we hope to put out of sight a little better, but we won. You
had a 2-1 lead, 9-1 edge in shots at halftime. What did you talk about with your team at the intermission?
Oh, I just thought we were a bit sloppy. We didn't have enough energy. We didn't play with enough urgency. And the way they were set up tactically, I don't think we moved the ball well enough to break them down. We were a bit slow in our movement of the ball around the back, and with them sitting deep, we had to move it quicker in order to shift them, and so we could play through. So, but present them the right information at halftime, and second half was, if anybody watches the game and goes back, they're going to see it's a boring half of soccer.
Brendan Lee gets you on the board first with a goal 7 minutes in.
Right.
Coming into tonight, he had 2 goals in his career. Now he has 3 in his last 4 games.
Yep.
What's gotten into him?
His form's been good. Brendan is a player that has the physical gifts to unbalance teams, and he's a talented player. So now that he's starting to, gain confidence and come into his own, he's a guy that other teams have to deal with.
Emil Cuecho gets the game winner for you.
Yep.
As he has gotten more time and gotten a little more comfortable, what's the biggest improvement you're seeing in his game?
No, Emil's a good player. He's a guy that, I think he's a player who was a bit under-recruited and people didn't know about him. But, when he played on a smaller club team that wasn't, he was the guy, and, bringing him into a system where he's not the only guy, I think you never want to hamper what he does, but he needed to limit the risks he takes in some areas of the field and continue to express himself in the attacking half. So he's getting better.
You come back to conference play on Friday. Central Florida comes in. You tied them in the regular season last year and then shut them out in the conference tournament.
Right.
What kind of matchup do you expect? What challenges do they present for you?
To be honest with you, I don't know. The assistants have seen the video. I will see it tonight when I go back in the office and start to prepare, but I was worried about Oral Roberts and what they brought. So I know they're a different group. I know they're different than they were last year, and they've lost several pieces, but they do a good job, and we'll be prepared.